from a DreamMax, and now they have the chance to get the full revenge, especially after these changes that DreamMax been through.
I feel like it's unfortunate to say, but I mean, we've watched DreamMax because they went from the bottom of placements of seeding to the bottom 4 of seeding here in the playoffs. To a team that has grown, that has been able to defeat Infinity, which is the team we just saw that just got over on 9Z Global. Even got a dominating game win over Entity 7 that we saw yesterday, which came like out of nowhere. So there are those little bits of hope for them here. They do, but this is a huge mountain that they are going to need to climb here. And like we said before, they've already been wiped twice by Octa Gaming. So you know Octa Gaming has an understanding, but they've never faced, I want to say, this version of DreamMax yet. Some things from yesterday that I kind of had notes on. Shaikitse, I feel like one of the biggest game plan was to shut her down. They took away the Kimmy pick from Shaikitse there, as well as I feel like a lot of pressure was placed onto Gu, where I feel like he was kind of held down, and I feel like the frustration started to, that's where a lot of the cracks began to come, was the XP lane and the performance coming out of the XP lane. So if they want to have, I want to say, a hope of being able to find that victory, find that positivity forward, those are going to be the main areas that you need to focus on to be able to build that victory here against a team like Octa Gaming, who a lot of people thought, including me, thought was going to be basically like second seed here coming into these playoffs.
Yeah, Entity 7 did find the ingredients to kind of counter DreamMax to get them from getting any more wins there. Shaikiche and King are a major factor in a lot of those wins that they had there. They're gonna go ahead and ban out Phobius, Boxia, and Kalea on the side of Octa here, and banning out Freya, Suyu, and Zushin, picking up that Harley for first pick here on the side of Octa.
Yeah, Octa Gaming here picking Harley here on the jungle for Thanatos TZ, so an early game, like a consistent early game when it comes to Octa Gaming. Especially they prefer and they are used to play in this style, like prioritizing early game especially. But now let's see what is a DreamMax is coming up here. Maybe like with Valentina, maybe for Shaikichi, or guarantee the goal lane for Zeus. That could be another idea, maybe with the Harriet here. So we have to wait because they're cooking so much. Okay, Hilda and Claude. Okay, Zeus is getting Claude here in the gold lane.
Yeah, so they do go ahead, secure up the gold laner for their team, especially adding to that a lot of early game pressure. It might be a little early to show the Hilda in my taste, just because I feel like you leave it open to kind of be countered out by a Gatakacha, another tanky front line that can really slow down the Hilda, where she has a lot of issues when it comes to CC or slows that can really be a detriment to a lot of her kit. On the side of Octa Gaming, definitely curious where we go with the Harley out there. Maybe we secure up a Uranus here just to kind of take that off of the table for DreamMax, something that is usually really big in being able to counter out the Harley. Or do you save up the Uranus in case the enemy picks it up during some of the other rounds? But it does look like they're going to go with the Glue and the Valentina pickup here.
Yeah, I did say, you mentioned before that Hilda is great against any squishier heroes to start with that are junglers. So the Hilda pickup was I feel like a kind of smart pick on their side if they were gonna go and invade and kind of stop Harley from farming, because if he cannot build up, he kind of falls off there for sure. Yeah, so I don't know what else they're gonna have to go ahead and pick up a mid lane here for DreamMax. Oh, and there they go. Of course, Kiche goes with the Lunix, one of the ones she's comfortable with here, and is really good against the Harley as she can escape with her ultimate.
Yeah, there it is. So Linux here now in the mid lane from Kichi. It was a good one, especially to like escape from Harley's ultimate, escaping from her glues here, like somehow ultimate also here. So that is a good choice for DreamMax. For me, like Valentina's choice here, like I think that it avoids the trouble of getting a Sora, for example, from the DreamMax side here when it comes to this natural counter. So let's see the next ban phase here coming out from DreamMax. Maybe DreamMax now can focus on the gold lane here. Maybe taking out like carry, for example, and focusing on tanky composition. Oh, they already took it down here Moskov. Maybe the next one could be carry, for example.
Yeah, definitely trying to focus on that. And that's a big reason for picking up the early marksman. It means that now that you have yours, you can start trying to ban out some of those priority picks from the other side there as well. I do like some of the answers that are kind of coming back and forth here when it comes to being able to secure and protect. Like you said, the Valentina's is really going to offset a Sora pickup there from them. And then on the other side, you answer that immediately with the Lunox pick, which we've seen before, just does a great job of being able to counter out the glue and the damage that can come out from there. Here, preambling this pickup of the Harley with the Kalea ban as well. So I'm kind of wondering, and especially we went with the Hilda, so we're not going to be able to kind of go with any type of isolation type of composition from the side of DreamMax. You're going to have the Hilda, but the big thing for me is, are we going to be able to kind of make use of this Hilda and kind of have that front line where and especially because I feel like we're kind of lacking in CC. That is where Claude really shines. You get that CC down, Claude can come in and he's just got a nice amount of time that he can lay down a lot of that blazing duet there. On the other side, interesting that we have the Terizla ban kind of coming out. I was actually quite curious where that was coming from, possibly to set up a Fredrin pickup by the side of DreamMax.
Yeah, they still need their jungler here as well, and an EXP laner here on the side of DreamMax. So that could be a possibility to kind of like negate that. But you are right, they are lacking that CC that is needed to kind of hold down the enemy for Lunix and Claude to kind of dish out their skills on there and take them down. On the side of they're gonna go ahead. Well, they're still missing that CC, but they're picking up this Lancelot. I wonder what they're gonna choose here for that EXP.
All right, so here a choice from DreamMax. It comes to Lancelot to a King. It's another one here, like if he uses the triangle here at the right time, he can avoid the burst coming out from Harley's ultimate as well. So that could be another situation for DreamMax. But still, as Privis was saying, I'm feeling some lack of CC here coming out from DreamMax's composition so far. Maybe now with like to good coming up with an Alice, for example, to get in this back line and trying to do something here with this control. No Terizla. Uranus, I don't see like they using Uranus, but now Sora. Oh, another CC here, another control coming out from XP lane, and Bruno here to V2. Okay, a very interesting composition. Oh, Yusong here is the last one for DreamMax.
It's very interesting here. I feel like we have a full-on engaged composition coming from DreamMax here, where everybody really needs to be on the same page. Either you engage or disengaging, because you have no CC to stop anybody. There's not going to be a lot of opportunities for you guys to read off of each other just because the lack of CC. So it's either in or out on who's making those calls. A very interesting composition. Octa Gaming, I like it. Like we said, it's got a lot of the standards that you look for in a composition, whether it's the damage, the CC that comes out, and a decent front line to be able to kind of protect your squishier players in Segan and V2.
Yeah, so especially like I think that this is battle on the river, especially around the objective here, is gonna be very strong for both teams because on one side you have Valentina, Harley, and Glue, and the other side you have Lancelot, Chaikichi with the Lunox, and Blink with Hilda. I think that Hilda is going to cause just a little bit pressure here on the river, for example. But when it comes to CC, a Saber has the advantage on a Glue, especially to buy more time for Octa Gaming. So I believe that most of the things and most of the what is happening on this first game is going to take out from this Trinity, the mid lane, the jungler, and the roaming here so far on this first game here, Private.
Yeah, I'm very eager to see how this kind of takes off. I feel like what we lack in CC on the side of DreamMax, we make up for in mobility and damage output that can come out. However, Shaikichi and Zeus, you're really waiting for a decent amount of items to come out before they really start to come online.
Yes, 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 in online we are once again. Now is the second match of the day, of the night. Octa Gaming versus DreamMax here. Welcome to the Land of Dawn. One side, Octa Gaming, other side here, DreamMax. Let's go, my friend Private.
Yeah, like we said before, DreamMax have had this matchup before against Octa Gaming. Octa Gaming have been so dominant, able to find 2 sweeps off of their opponents, and now DreamMax looking to change that history here with this third series here. This one's going to be a best of 5, and we're hoping to see this one go the distance.
It's going to be sweet. It's going to be very wild here. Both teams working on, especially on the mid lane here now. Sagan, and Chaikichi, and Saber, right? Yeah, Sagan and Saber. Like it was like almost a tongue twist here for me.
Yeah, putting on a little bit of damage there. Oh, yeah, gonna go and put some on to Blink just yet, and they're gonna be able to cleanly secure up that Litho Wanderer for them. The only thing right now, I feel like Blink, he's trying to keep pace with Saber, understand where Saber is so that there's no surprises that come on. Surprisingly enough, Goop doing a good job pushing in the lane on the side of DreamMax here, pushing it into Octa Gaming there to kind of get some domination in that. So now he's gonna go ahead and like basically call for some of the reinforcements. King going into a bush. I wonder if he knows that Octa Gaming's in there. Yeah, does discover them in there as well. 9 seconds for this first turtle.
Yeah, King was like, oh, I'm a crazy live, but not so far. Oh, King!
Ooh, yeah, has a little bit of that disengagement. Ooh, Petrify comes in and a pop-up! And down goes Thanatos Teasy. Black Dragon into the tower of Octa Gaming. That's going to be a potential free turtle for the side of DreamMax.
Here comes the surprise coming up from DreamMax. Here's the Petrify from Gru, guaranteeing the first kill for Shaikichi and the first turtle as well for the Dragon Boys. Oh, Zeus here and Shaikichi now taking a lot of damage on the bottom lane, but they still survive. They'll be able to get back in the base, and the first turtle goes to DreamMax here, Private.
Yeah, you see there, and that's one of the big things about the Flying Cloud map. Zeus, you saw him immediately turn around to go back to base, and he's going to be able to get back fairly quickly before he loses anything much on his side for this for these minions here. V2 going to take a decent amount of damage there, goes underneath the tower. Blink takes a bit of damage for that. BMI used by Zeus to get him out of harm's way. The one thing too is there's a lot of damage negating abilities on the side of DreamMax too. You've got the Black Dragon, you've got the Thorned Rose. Ooh, Zeus, as I say that, Zeus taking a lot of damage. Speaking of damage negating abilities, it doesn't really have much on his side, but Black Dragon, Thorned Rose from King, Shaikichi has the Brilliance that can come out. So you've got a lot of, I think you isolate a lot of targets. Octa Gaming has very few targets they can go for that don't have an ability that will be able to get them away from a lot of that harm and a lot of those danger zones.
Yeah, so we're seeing now once again here like Blink trying to get this harassment, trying to get this info from the jungler. Saber is on the bottom line once again here in a 2v2 situation. Meanwhile, Thanatos TC clearing the path, but oh, Saber
Yeah, Saber takes a little bit of damage there from Blink. Ooh, with the ultimate coming out from that Hilda pickup, but not enough to really do much, especially when you've got that split. Glue is just so durable, and that's why he gets so much pickups here so in the current meta.
Yeah, so he didn't head back to the base here, like using the green zone to regen the HP here. Now the second turret on the top side of the river. Both teams are dancing around that. Let's go!
Yeah, we do have 4 members here. Black Dragon is out as well. Blink does kind of suffer a split there as well. Big pop-up lands onto King. Brilliance comes out from the back end. Shakichi able to find a kill onto Lucy. Goo in trouble, getting blasted up as Blink chasing down 2 members. Thanatos able to find himself a kill onto Glue. So 1-1 apiece here for this is going to be able to push Octa Gaming away from a second turtle for DreamMax.
Yes, 1 player down here for both teams, but the turtle, this next one, goes for a DreamMax once again. But now, see, Thanatos, he's up to do something. He's up to something on the bottom lane here, maybe to surprise Zeus here on the tower. He is very patient. He is waiting for the right time, but oh, DreamMax knew that something's weird on the bottom line here, so heading up the players to respond back any kind of the trial here from Octa Gaming.
One interesting thing that I'm remembering from yesterday is that interview that we had with Alpha 7, and we kind of questioned them on what they had noticed from DreamMax that had changed since the first time that they had fought. And one of the biggest things that he said is their team fighting had gotten monumentally better from DreamMax. Not so much the rotations or picks or anything or draft, which they've always kind of favored, but the team fights were just so much better coming out from DreamMax. And here, I think maybe a little bit of a surprise there coming out from Octa Gaming, as DreamMax have been able to have pretty successful 2 objective pushes here so far in the early game. I think we got about 46 seconds for this next hurdle, but so far DreamMax, even with the composition that I'm not too favorable of, just because of the lack of CC, I still feel like DreamMax has a good thing. Oh, Shifting Skies comes out there, and out comes the negate there from King. Have the Thorned Rose that was able to kind of get rid of a lot of damage, and then he was able to puncture his way out of that damage.
Yeah, and actually it's kind of interesting here because as you were saying, like you're expecting Octa Gaming to get the 2nd seed, for example, on AMER South so far, especially because of the first performance of Octa Gaming. And then suddenly, like, they got a 3-0 sweep from 9Z Globan. And okay, on the river, oops.
Yeah, Brilliance actually coming out. That's the IMU, and the Flicker Singing might be in trouble here. Underneath the tower, Blink finds the kill, and is able to get away. Meanwhile, King taking the deadly magic, is able to find himself an escape. V2 finds a kill onto Goo. 2 down for Octa Gaming, 1 down for DreamMax. Is this going to equal up a turtle for the side of Octa Gaming? I know DreamMax is very low, so there's not going to be much contention on their side. Meanwhile, pressure mounting at the mid. Blink on his side looking for an engagement, but is going to have to turn around and recall back to base.
Berserker Fury now heading for a V2's hand on Bruno with already on the has clause here. So on the last team fight, King was not able to fight back this turtle, guaranteed by Octa Gaming. But once again, Octa Gaming here working on this turtle. They took down the first tower on the bottom lane. In the mid lane here, Blink. Okay, he is able to survive as well. But once again, DreamMax being more proactive, especially when it comes to Blink here with Hilda, to trying to get his backline and trying to neutralize anyone before an important objective here. But so far, Octa Gaming is responding in an interesting way. You know, like when we check the goal lead here, like almost none for DreamMax, despite all the actions that they are trying to do so far.
Yeah, because we really have, and this is something else that we had talked about too, when it came to facing a team like Alpha 7, they were having some problem. Ooh, the overshifting skies come out there, have to use the puncture. Ooh, the phantom execution. He keeps trying to phantom execution, and he cannot get away. The damage and the CC coming out from Lucy on that Sora pit kept on resetting and resetting. He must have tried the phantom execution 3 times, and each time it got CC'd down. He was not able to find that escape.
You can call me old-fashioned, but don't call me to play in a competition which does have NCC. Oh, the top lane here, killing spree for Thanatos TZ, plus the tower on the top side, and mid lane as well for Octa Gaming. Oh, Private. Like, for the last 2 minutes ago, we were talking about, like, DreamMax's advantage. Oh, Thanatos TZ. Oh.
Yeah, Blink's going to be able to clean that up nice and easy. But, yeah, we were talking about, I feel like Octa Gaming just waiting for a couple of those power spikes before they actually go in. Split there on by Saber there. Shakiche looking for an angle to get in here. Possibly looking for some of that surprise. Blink on the other side. Goo coming in here is going to get surprised by Segan coming in there. Do we have a Black Dragon? Down to 50%. Goo probably gonna have to use that Black Dragon to get out as Saber taking a lot of damage. Shakishi comes in here, finds the kill onto Saber. This might be able to set up this first Lord for the side of a DreamMax. They're gonna go ahead and start on it as Lucy looking for another way inside of here. Possibly looking at a shifting skies coming in, and King able to find himself an escape plus the retribution on to this Lord. Goo again getting taken out with that deadly magic. Goo right now sitting at a 0 and a 4.
Okay, a worthy sacrifice here for a DreamMax, taking down Goo to guarantee the first Lord. Now, with 1 player less, okay, they're on like 11 seconds left here to him to get back in game once again. And the Lord now activating on the bottom lane here. DreamMax has to take this chance, take this opportunity to take down towers on the map, because so far Octa Gaming is dominating. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, we're pretty even when it comes to golden kills right now. We do have a little bit of a Thorn Rose that does land on the Saber. Oh, Phantom Execution actually comes out there. But, oh, the damage coming out. We do have a little bit of a problem for King. He does get disengaged there with another Thorn Rose. Thanatos is going to have to find himself a teleport out of there. Goo in trouble again, looking for an escape, is being chased down by the rest of Octa Gaming. 0 and 5 for Goo, but it does allow DreamMax the opportunity to clear the tier 2 tower up at top.
I believe that in DreamMax communication, I believe that someone say like, okay, if someone has to die here, it has to be Goo here on the XP lane with the Yuzong so far. But now, oh, here comes again.
Yeah, we do have the Brilliance kind of coming out from Shaikite. She's going to try to put the damage here onto the Saber. Yeah, there it goes again. Shaikite picking up another kill. 5-0 right now on this Lunox. I mean, who else but Shaikite would be able to do that so early in reaching into the mid game? Immediately knows what target she needs to go for, knows that it's going to be Saber on this glue, and is always around to be able to kind of find some of those kills right now. Still, I feel like it's a little even on both sides. 3 towers to 4 in favor of Octa Gaming, and the gold lead not really there for either of those teams. But however, I feel like the further and further we get into this game, Octa's starting to come together, starting to find the kills, starting to find some of these objectives.
Yeah, so when it comes to the map domination here, Octa Gaming just a little bit ahead from DreamMax. The goal lead here is none for both teams, but now, oh, on the top side here, so we're seeing something out of the range, especially from DreamMax. Blink or now King. Oh, here comes Black Dragon.
Oh, they want V2. They're going to try to dash back there, have the phantom execution. Here come the shifting skies. They're trying to get back to V2 and get him down. King chases him down, but pays for it with his life. Octa Gaming trying to turn this around onto DreamMax. 2 down. King and Goo down for the side of DreamMax as they try to pull Saber down. Ooh, blazing duet on the backside is going to put a lot of damage on the Saber. Brilliance coming out from Shaikitse as well. Now looking for the disengagement. They are able to find it. 8-8 for both of these teams.
Yeah, the chase V2 here, but the price was too high for them because they lost 2 players in the process. They lost King here, the retribution situation from DreamMax to this Lord. But now here King is able to be back in the game again, and now Octa Game has to finish this Lord as faster as they can.
Yeah, they tried to, but out comes the Black Dragon. You can see them now starting to back up, trying to get into proper positioning. Zeus and King coming in. Ooh, we might be able to get this Lord off of them again. Coming in, looking for the retribution. Lucy able to find the damage onto the Lord. What retribution as a DreamMax take a loss to King and Blink. I believe that's going to be a double for V2, and this is why he was the first target in the initial engagement. They knew the damage that he's going to be able to output. They knew what happens if you leave him alive. And here, getting a double now accompanying this Lord into the high ground of a DreamMax. Only 3 members left there. Big charge coming out from the Lord as the rest of Octa Gaming makes short work. Shifting skies come out. And the big damage on the Goo, who is down for the count. Now trying to put the damage onto this core as well. Shifting skies. Shaikitse finds a kill onto Saber, but it's not enough to stop the push. Octa Gaming clear out game 1.
An early and mid game here, very tied up from both teams, but now Octa Gaming take the step forward and guarantee 1-0, Xena.
Yes, and they kept it very tied up for sure. It was looking in favor of DreamMax there at the start, but one little misstep from them. That second Lord was able to tear that all down by taking out all the lanes. They lost 2 players on the side of DreamMax there, and then they tunneled, visioned for that crystal. It was the end, and that was all she wrote for them.
Oh man, I mean, they put in the effort. Shaikitse did her best to kind of come in there, like I said, narrowing down in the skill that she had, or on the player that she was supposed to focus down. Unfortunately, it just took more than that. Octa Gaming had some great disengagement tools here too, even to the fact that I want to applaud DreamMax for the target and understanding of what they needed to do. They saw V2, they went in on him, even with how far back he was looking to disengage. King with the tunnel vision, able to still find that kill under eventually though taking a death his own. Unfortunately, I still feel like one of the biggest the problems right now for Decided DreamMax is I feel like XP lane is kind of getting outmatched right now when it comes to a lot of these team engagements. Octa Gaming put on a huge show here, especially Lucy on this pick. I feel like that was a big part of the success for Octa Gaming here too. You have the pickup of the Sora, and you already had the only counter out there in the Valentina pickup as well.
Yeah, so I agree with you here, especially on Goo's situation here, because okay, he was with Yuzong here, especially with the Black Dragon when it comes to the situation to zoom out the Octa Gaming players, for example. But the follow up here, especially from DreamMax, that could be better if they like worked better with a Goo, for example, you know, because we saw like most of the times like Goo being just a little bit lost here, so getting taken down on this team fight, and with this misadvantage from DreamMax. Oh, Lao King here trying to escape, but the whole like Octa Gaming, almost the whole Octa Gaming composition was like back on his feet here to guarantee the skills. So Goo was trying to, especially on the flank, but with the Yuzong here using the Black Dragon, it's back to when you see DreamMax with a follow-up with this damage caused by Shaikichi, for example, or a Zeus. But what we saw here was Goo sometimes lost.
All right, now it's time to spotlight the player who left their mark on this match. Our MVP V2 with the Bruno, 414 KDA, 67k total damage, 762 gold per minute. A defining factor for the win, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason you saw such a thirsty dive for him. I want to say 2 minutes before the end there. Because they understood how much damage he was going to be able to output. That if he's left open, they're not going to be able to withstand all that he was able to dish out there. And you saw it with that last fight too. Just able to pop away and lay them out. And it was just a huge. It was a huge opening for them to be able to kind of use that to be able to get that final push up as well. And I know we talked a little bit, we were talking a little bit about Goo, but he's one of the newer players when it comes to the side of DreamMax. So there still is some synergy that needs to come in there for them. Oh, look at V2, just the damage coming out, boom, right on the blink as he was trying to get away. A big flicker there, and then able to find himself another one as well, another kill on to the side of Dream.